All right, worldwide download celebration. It's kicked off, but we have a new red zone stage to go with that. First things first, as this recording is going on, you guys will see the screen dim a little bit, and as you can see on the top right hand of the screen, the battery is in low power mode. I just was being lazy and didn't turn it off, and that's why you'll see, I don't remember if this is how it works with screen recordings, but I do know that the screen when I was playing the game went dim, like when I was waiting for turns play out, because like when you get into this mode, it's basically like you're just sitting and watching the turn play out until like it's your turn to do stuff, right? So if you see the screen go dim, that is why, but we have the Goku Black / Super Saiyan Rose red zone here, and this fight is definitely no joke. I am very excited to see the direction that they are going for the units like Vegito Blue and Merge Zamasu, because if they're supposed to just face tank everything, they are going to be pretty crazy. Because in the fail runs that I had, this was, I believe, my 5th attempt at the event, and by like the 4th loss using no items, I eventually just like surrendered and said, okay, I'm going to use a Whis, because I wanted to make sure at least I got the clear on the initial day, right? And this Goku Black hits hard. Very, very, very hard. Now, I don't know if it's as hard as Cell Max, but it's definitely up there. The second phase definitely, not Cell Max, First Form Cell, but the second phase definitely hits harder than First Form Cell. So, it's interesting to see how this is kind of going to go play out going forward. Because you guys can just see that we are bringing like a pretty like beefy team. Now, I know UI Goku, who invited my man and all that. I thought that, like, hey, what if I try doing dodges in the AGL phase because of how hard these supers are hitting, right? It's like, oh, if I dodge it, I won't take any damage. And that was kind of the idea, but I learned very quickly when watching the attack stats in the, or the attack numbers in the AoE portion of, what's it called? Not the AoE portion, but the giant portion of Giant Piccolo. I realized very quickly that that strategy, just like bringing UI Goku, was a mistake. So you'll see how I end up winning this run. It's actually pretty funny. It just goes to show you why some mechanics in this game are just invaluable to others, right? And you will see why we end up winning this. No, it's not the revive, but I wish it was, but because like that's a rare animation these days. But overall, I think let me pull up the stats for these guys. I guess, like, I'll see if I can find it while I'm doing my recording here for you. I believe, let's see. I don't think these stats were posted here, but I do know that, oh, you know what, I know where to find them. Okay. I just know that he certainly, I'm having trouble here, so let me just give me 1 second. Okay, so after a little bit of back and forth here, I managed to find it, but here we go. So Goku Black has 45 million attack. He does, or HP, not attack. That'd be crazy. His attack is 550,000, and his defense is 75% or 75,000 with damage reduction of 64%. And then his super attack does 1.5 million damage, and the cooldown is 5 on that. But when we go to Rose Goku Black, it is a 1.68 million super attack, and he also raises his attack by 30%. So he goes from 600,000 attack up to, what is that? So like 30,000 of 600. 3/10 of that is what? Like 180,000 he gets a raise of. I believe that's the math on that. Something close to that. So he's up to almost 800,000 attack after he supers. So you guys are just gonna see like how hard this guy hits, right? Like it gets pretty crazy. And like I said, when you get into the AoE portion, I keep saying the AoE, but the giant form version of Orange Piccolo, that's when you really kind of see the difference in just how hard this guy's going to be hitting, and why this is also like another reason why I made a critical mistake of using items in the first phase, right? I thought that would be a good idea because I'm thinking like, hey, maybe this is like the Omega fight where the first phase is really tough, but then once you kind of get out of there, it's still hard, but you can get through it a little easier. But that was not the case. The second phase was a significant step up in terms of like how much damage the enemy is doing. And I also wanted to take advantage of the dodges here from Blue Gogeta, but just kind of the way that the turn played out, I wanted to make sure that we had a turn of Vegito and Gogeta Blue together, and that ended up being kind of like the way it worked out, right? Like I was able to get through it, but it was tough. So certainly a hard fight, and I'm okay with changes of pace like this. It's always nice when like the first couple stages of an event are super, super tough, but that also just means that, these stages were designed in mind of, you're going to be bringing, you know, LR Vegito Blue into here, and you're going to be bringing Fusion Zamasu. Like, they kind of want to give you this impression that it's like, oh, you know, this is super, super hard, but once you get Vegito Blue, it's going to be super, super easy, right? Like, that's kind of the vibe that they're giving off with this. And I'm not saying that's a problem. That's what they're supposed to do. But that's kind of like what I took from this. And that's where, you know, things really kind of heated up a bit. So right here, what I wanted to do and couldn't do was I wanted to kind of build up Trunks and Vegeta a little bit, but I knew that we did not have a Whis active at this point, so I had to make sure that we took advantage of the guaranteed dodges and went into the next turn with the maximum amount of HP, because I don't believe Trunks and Vegeta would have been reaching that double-digit level of normals, because Goku Black does hit significantly hard, right? Like, even in one of the runs I did, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the Ternabata LR, took like 800,000 from a Super in slot 1 with his damage reduction active, right? So, like, it's kind of like after that I knew what I was getting into, and then right here is kind of like the telltale. Like, I knew that I had to make a decision, right? Where we're going to do these active skills, and then I'm going to do Orange Piccolo, and then after Orange Piccolo, it's like, yeah, there's no supers, but that doesn't mean you're out of the woods yet, you know what I mean? Like, we still have to worry about the attack placement on the next one, solely because I brought UI Goku on the team, thinking that was trying to get cute, right? So you see right here, these attacks are doing, you know, 800k per normal, and then he does a super and it lands for like 2.7 million. Granted, he is type advantage over this Piccolo, and obviously in the giant mode, there's no, you know, defensive links or anything like that, just because the damage doesn't matter, but it does kind of give you like a gauge of like, holy hell, this guy's, you know, almost hitting us for 1 million per normal right here, right? So it's like, you know that this fight is not going to be a cakewalk, and that was kind of fun about it, right? Like, it's, you know, we do ultimately get the clear, but we had to work pretty hard to get it, and that's sort of where we're at right now. And now we go into the adventure for the no item run, because I believe we have to wait till part 2 until we get stages 4 and 5, depending on if they do 6 and 7 or something like that. But just know we are in for quite the treat with Merge Zamasu's LR or Red Zone stage. So hopefully the part 1 and part 2 LRs are more than enough to take that out, but who knows? I can only speculate. We have no idea, no information, no nothing. Just know his super attack's going to be in the 2 million range, the 2.5 million range. He'll probably seal, he'll probably disable. I don't think he'll seal, because I just think that would, like, objectively just be too hard based on the way these guys are hitting. It's like these units literally need to super attack in order to kind of stand a chance, right? So after he does a super attack right there, you guys can see, like, he's doing 1 million per normal, right? And then he also, I believe his attack, I forget if his attack is still raised when we get out of this or not. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't think so, because, like, in theory, that would just, like, if it went away, I don't know. I guess we'll take a look when we get out of here, because we're only in the giant mode for 2 turns this time around, so it doesn't take too long. Because usually sometimes these will be like 3 to 4 minutes, right? But the beauty of this run, you guys will see coming up, is that the next turn is very quick, because we just have to do 3 simple things, and we ended up getting the win. So that's how you know that, you know, still viable in all the hardest content. Certain group of easy A's are. I don't know if I'm willing to call them better than Trunks and Vegeta at this point, though. I don't know. It's tough. I kind of like them over Trunks and Vegeta, but I also know people who don't. So we will see. I'm being vague just because I want you to see it play out in front of you, and then we'll kind of move on from there. So boom, there we go. Piccolo just trying to do as many supers as possible, even though they're not really doing any damage because he's 55%, but he's trying his best. So we ended up taking 2 bars of health off of him, and then we are finally done. And now we are in a spot where I have no choice but to throw Piccolo in slot 3, because UI Goku, there's just no way. And Goku's attack is also not, Goku Black's attack is also not raised anymore, so that answers that question. But at least Piccolo is getting the 24 key, and then, you know, this Piccolo takes 116k per normal right there, and I'm like, oh no, this is a disaster. And I'm thanking my lucky stars that Orange Piccolo's in here to take away the super, because that super would have hit like a Mack truck, right? And then UI Goku, this is his one job, right? I bring him for the team for one reason, and it's just to dodge. And does he do it? I guess you're gonna find out. But you know, the damage he does, like the damage, excuse me, the tankiness of this Goku Black is nothing too crazy, but the offense is absolutely out of this world, right? Like, just how hard he hits, like, because you guys can see, like, these crits are doing a decent amount of damage, and then UI Goku thinks, you know, he's a funny man, right? And he takes 500k from a normal right there, so that's always lovely. And now we are playing with fire, if you will, but like, you could see a 6 mil crit right there does like a health bar and a half, so that is kind of the saving grace of this, that you know, crits do pierce through this guy pretty good, and you can take him out easy with like attacks, but it's just withstanding the storm that he's throwing on you attack wise is going to be not necessarily like a free free win, right? So right here, I would have been feeling really good if I had Trunks or Orange Piccolo on rotation, but now I'm sure that what I was talking about is pretty obvious. The active skills are going to end up winning us this fight. We get 11 million right there from Vegito Blue. We do a active skill with Gogeta Blue. We end up getting another 10 million basically, and now it comes up to Trunks and Vegeta with their guaranteed crit to get the win. We throw it up and it does 3.8, but it is enough for us to get the W. So there you guys go. That is the Goku Black Red Zone done with items. We will come back for the no item run, of course, maybe after we get Vegito Blue. Hopefully we do. And that's all I really got for you in this one. So stay tuned for the other content that's coming today. We're going to be covering that Dismal, I think it's like the Zero Mortals Plan event or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but that's what we'll be doing. So leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you all in the next one.